Imagine tuning into an NFL game only to see the entire field disappearing under a blanket of snow, the players slipping, the ball skidding, and the crowd roaring through a blizzard. Or picture a kicker lining up for what should be an easy game-winning field goal, only for a sudden blast of wind to send the ball sailing hopelessly wide. That's the unpredictable, thrilling world of NFL weather, an invisible force that can flip momentum, rewrite game plans, and turn ordinary matchups into unforgettable moments. And here's the wild part. Some teams and players actually thrive in these chaotic conditions. Today, we're going to uncover why. By the end of this video, you'll never look at rain, snow, wind, or even sunshine the same way again. Whether in the NFL, isn't just a backdrop, it's ASA's strategic factor that shapes every snap, every route, every kick. Before the players even step onto the field, coaches are already adjusting playbooks based on sky conditions. Quarterbacks have to gauge how the wind might bend a deep pass. Running backs need to anticipate how slippery the turf becomes after even a light drizzle. Defenses know that a sudden downpour can turn a fast-paced defensive threat into a turnover machine. In this video, we dive in deep into how weather impacts the sport from the ground up, the science behind the conditions, the legendary games shaped by extreme climates, and the tactics teams use to survive and succeed when nature decides to join the matchup. Whether it's snow falling in Buffalo, heat waves striking Miami, or freezing winds cutting through Green Bay, every environment tells its own story, and today, we're exploring them all. Few things in the NFL are as visually stunning or strategically challenging as a heavy snow game. Snow doesn't just change the look of the field, it changes the way the game is played. Players struggle with footing, the ball becomes slick and unpredictable, and coaches must completely rethink their game plan. Some of the most memorable games in NFL history happened under these conditions. Take the Tuck Rule playoff game between the Raiders and Patriots, where snow coated every inch of the field and created chaos that would decide the outcome of a critical moment in NFL history. Or the Buffalo Bills Snow Bowl in 2017, where the blizzard-like conditions highlighted the determination of players who refused to let the weather dictate their effort. In snowy games, passing becomes difficult and often unreliable, so teams rely on running plays and short passes. Special teams play a huge role, as even simple field goals become monumental challenges. Footwear, ball handling, and even mental toughness are tested. Snow forces players to slow the game down, prioritize ball security, and focus on fundamentals. Fans often witness slip-and-slide collisions, unexpected turnovers, and long, grueling drives. Beyond the strategy, snow games become part of NFL lore. They're visually spectacular, unpredictable, and thrilling, showing how weather can transform an ordinary matchup into a historic battle. Rainy conditions in the NFL turn a fast-paced, precise game into a battle against the elements. Water on the field creates mud and reduces traction, making it difficult for players to cut, accelerate, or maintain balance. The ball becomes slippery, leading to more fumbles and incomplete passes. Quarterbacks must adapt by using shorter, more controlled throws, while running backs focus on power running instead of agile jukes. Even the most precise wide receivers struggle to make clean catches, and defenders often benefit from the chaos as forced errors increase. Some classic games perfectly illustrate rain's disruptive effect. For example, the muddy playoff matchups in the 1970s showed how sloppy fields could completely neutralize speed and trick plays. Coaches become hyper-aware of the risks, adjusting their strategy to protect the ball above all else. In extreme conditions, games slow down, turning into a battle of endurance and technique rather than speed or flash. Rain also tests mental toughness. Players must remain focused despite slipping, sliding, and battling the cold, wet elements. The crowd's energy often amplifies the intensity, with fans braving the weather alongside the athletes. These games are chaotic but unforgettable, proving that success isn't just about talented, it's about adapting to whatever conditions nature throws your way. Wind is one of the most underestimated forces in the NFL. Unlike snow or rain, which are visible and immediately obvious, wind is invisible, unpredictable, and can alter a game in seconds. Even a moderate gust can bend a long pass off course, ruin a field goal attempt, or make a punter misjudge distance. Teams playing in windy cities like Chicago or Green Bay must constantly adjust their game plans, relying on short passes and a strong running game to minimize risk. Some of the most dramatic NFL moments have been defined by wind. Field goals that should have been routine are sent wide, and deep passes vanish into a sudden gust. Quarterbacks must anticipate how the wind will move the ball mid-flight, often relying on experience and intuition rather than raw arm strength. Kickers are forced to adjust angle, power, and trajectory. Coaches become weather strategists, studying wind patterns as carefully as they study film. Wind games require patience, precision, and mental toughness. Players who can adapt thrive, while others struggle. It's a subtle yet powerful factor that can completely swing momentum and determine the winner of closely contested matchups. Fans may not see the wind, but they always feel its impact, sometimes in the form of a missed field goal, a deflected pass, or a game-changing turnover. In the NFL, wind is a silent opponent, always present, and always dangerous. Cold weather in the NFL tests not only skill but endurance, toughness, and preparation. Freezing temperatures, wind chills, and icy surfaces can all affect a player's performance. Quarterbacks often see reduced grip on the ball, leading to less accurate throws. Wide receivers struggle to catch slippery passes, and linemen must deal with stiffer muscles that slow reaction times. But some players thrive in the cold, often earning reputations as ice warriors who perform better when others falter. Historic games like the 1967 Ice Bowl between the Packers and Cowboys exemplify extreme cold's impact. Temperatures plummeted well below zero, and the field was frozen solid. Every snap, tackle, and kick became a test of physical and mental toughness. Strategy also shifts. Coaches favor short passes and running plays to maintain control, and ball security becomes a top priority. Cold affects more than just performance, it influences preparation, equipment, and recovery. Teams layer clothing, adjust pregame warm-ups, and rely on mental discipline to maintain focus. Even subtle decisions, like how long to keep a quarterback on the sideline, can determine outcomes. In extreme cold, every play matters, and mistakes are magnified. For players and fans alike, these games are a testament to resilience, showing that NFL battles aren't just fought on talent but also on the ability to endure nature's harshest tests. While freezing temperatures dominate headlines, extreme heat and humidity present a different, often overlooked challenge. Playing under scorching sun and heavy humidity can quickly drain stamina, increase fatigue, and lead to cramps or heat-related injuries. Teams in early season games in Florida, Texas, or Arizona must prepare meticulously with hydration strategies, frequent rotations, and careful pacing. Heat impacts player performance subtly but significantly. Quarterbacks may tire faster, affecting arm strength and decision-making. Running backs feel heavier and slower as the day progresses, and defensive backs struggle to maintain coverage intensity. Coaches adjust by emphasizing shorter drives, more substitutions, and ball control to conserve energy. Conditioning becomes as important as skill, and the mental focus required to endure oppressive heat cannot be underestimated. Some memorable high-heat games have showcased athletes' adaptability and toughness. Teams that adjust early, manage fatigue, and maintain hydration gain a competitive edge. Heat also influences strategy. Passing games can be shortened, running games prioritized, and clock management becomes critical. Fans often see slower-paced but high-stakes battles, where endurance is as decisive as talent. In the NFL, heat and humidity are silent killers and seen opponents that challenge every player's physical and mental limits. Success comes to those who respect the environment and adapt, proving that, just like snow or wind, weather is always a formidable factor in the game.